What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and I'm taking a second look at The Outrun because the first time I was offered the film, it was a screener that did not have audio description. Now I've seen it with audio description. So welcome back. If you cared enough to join me again for a movie that ended up not getting any Academy Award nominations, good for you. Good job. Anyway, this is Saoirse Ronan's failed Oscar bid from 2024 that actually premiered at Sundance the previous year and got some attention. And kind of pretty much the word out of Sundance was she's good in the Outrun. The movie doesn't have what it takes. And then people just kind of kept talking about Saoirse Ronan. And then they tried to talk about Saoirse Ronan a little bit more whenever Blitz turned out to be kind of meh. It just ultimately didn't materialize into anything. I saw the film the first time, and I didn't give a firm grade. I sometimes do like floating grades for these things, but I think I was down in like the C plus range for the film. I wasn't crazy about it. My initial thoughts were that Saoirse Ronan has definitely done better work before. And it just kind of reminded me, the same can be said about Blitz. When people are pushing, at that time, people were pushing her maybe like, oh, she might get double nominated this year. She's already been nominated a couple times. She hasn't won. She's really young. It'd be so nice to see nominations being thrown, which is exactly what happened. We have a lot of first-time nominees instead of just continuing to pile on nominees for people who were never going to win these categories. She was never going to win for the Outrun. She was never going to win for Blitz. She would have ended up being those films like lone nominations. So it's good that that those nominations went to people who have been working and didn't quite ever get the praise that they deserved. It's an addiction drama. In my opinion on that was correct. I nailed that one. Let me tell you, I got that right out the door without audio description. I figured that one out. I was like, yeah, it's about addiction. It is. She plays Rona. We do see her sort of at the beginning of the film, just kind of enjoying. Well, I don't say enjoying. I mean, I think she like delivers a dead lamb out of a sheep. I don't know that that's enjoying life. I would consider that a pretty bleak life if I was carrying around dead lambs. But then she kind of goes in the city and parties, and it just gets out of hand. She starts getting too much alcohol and drug use, and mainly alcohol, and I mean she just can't stop, won't stop. Kind of falls into the wrong crowd too of people who can't stop, won't stop, and it just becomes worse and worse for her, and she clearly has a problem. And there are several scenes shown where she's like just totally fucked up, and doing something that you're like, I would never do that, or holy shit, that's crazy. And all of that is shown to point you toward like, well, this is how bad it gets. And sometimes you don't really know until you're there, and then you go, would I really do that? I think that's always the fascinating thing about showing people at the point of no return, is when you need alcohol in your system, what are you willing to drink to get it? So it's not a happy movie, but it's a solid performance from Saoirse. I like acting, and the problem is that it's not dialogue heavy. It's a lot of reactions. It's a lot of sitting there. And so for me, the first time through watching it, my reaction was a little bit more muted because I needed the audio description. Some films just need accessibility in order to be able to enjoy them at all. Um, I'm still not crazy about it. I think this and Blitz are about the same. They're both sort of like fine. You know, I don't think either one of these are great movies, and I think they're both fine performances from Saoirse Ronan, but I still think she's turned in better performances before. I still look at performances of hers in years past, nominated and not nominated, that I really adored. I think I'm one of the only people who really loved Brooklyn. I think I really liked her in that. And then also Hannah. I mean, it's odd. Everybody looks at it like that was a good movie. People don't look at it and go, that was an Oscar movie, but she was also really good in Hannah. And it kind of, you know, watching Outrun and Blitz makes me want to go back and watch some of the movies that I like Saoirse in a little bit more. Of course, she's great in Atonement, the whole reason she's here. Um, but yeah, I the audio description really connected all the dots like it was supposed to. So it kind of like, even when I give it a floating grade, it ends up like it could float up more. You know, I don't know if I gave it a C or C plus. Sometimes I delete these things. I delete the video, and especially if I know I'm about to watch it, and I know it has audio description, because I don't want two reviews if I can avoid it. Especially if virtually nobody watched the first one, which was exactly the case of the Outrun. So because it wasn't going to hurt my channel to lose it. Now I only have one review of the Outrun. It's the appropriate one because it's the one that met my audio description and accessibility needs. So trying to convey all of that into one review is what I'm doing. All my thoughts, one place, one time. This is a film that you're going to show up for Saoirse Ronan. I know it's based on a true story, and I don't want to like besmirch the person whose story that this is by saying, you know, don't live your truth, or your truth is not valid, or anything like that. I mean, first of all, it's an adaptation, so I don't even know. You know, I mean, everything is always based on a true story, and we can go down that rabbit hole day in, day out, and I can go through all the instances that I know of true stories where they modified it to flip it around and added things that didn't happen, or took away things that did, or merged characters together, create a character that didn't exist, you know, just to help further a story and make it into more of a cinematic nature. She may have written a book that was deeply personal to her. That does not mean that this movie is that book, or that this reflects her experience. So yeah, it's good, not great. Good, not great. Show up for Saoirse if you're a Saoirse fan. I remember watching, was it My Old Ass? And the little kid's like obsessed with Saoirse Ronan. That kid is gonna be all over this movie. The kid is like hanging up Saoirse Ronan posters all over his bedroom. The younger brother, yeah, he was there opening day for the Outrun. You know, they're like, you for the Outrun? You don't look like the target demo for this. It's Saoirse. I have to see this. So I know it's a fictional character, but if you really think about it in his world, the Outrun and Blitz, having those two movies in the same year was probably like the best year of his life, you know? So, and then he just cried when she didn't get any nominations for either one of them. I'm way down a rabbit hole. I'm going to give the Outrun a B minus. I gave Blitz a B. This is a B minus. I like it a little bit less than Blitz. Yeah, the audio description, thank you for connecting the dots. You know, I mean, there's a lot that happens. There's a lot of details. There are a lot of details. Sorry, I forgot my English. There are a lot of details thrown in, a lot of, there's a time when it looks like her boyfriend might be dead, and she's worried. He's passed out, but I mean, like, you know, but it keeps it in that moment where she's like creeping up on him, and it like held the moment really well for the effectiveness for her reaction, you know. Also letting us know all of the icky bits of things she's willing to put in her system really specific things like still wearing a baklava underwater, which I find to be funny. I'm like, why? I guess so they're not seeing on security cameras. I'm like, you're underwater. Anyway. um, but yeah, so it's yeah, check it out if you want to check it out. But there is an available audio description track for this movie. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.